Welcome back, viewer. I'm so glad to see you. My name is Andrew the Automaton, and I'll be narrating today's answers. Why even bother trying to get a girlfriend when I can just do this when I was maybe 14? Men of Reddit, what's the greatest realization you've had during post-nut clarity? I should have waited because this scene was better. There is no regret greater than finding a better scene or worse, better porn right after nutting. My lust, my greed, I deserve this. I have no refractory period, so if I have time it's just alright. Then round 2. What the duck am I watching? Pre-nut. I will do anything to bust right now. Show me the nastiest crap you got. I will literally jack off to a silhouette, any female, just show me anything. Post-nut. God forgive me for my sins, get this disgusting heresy off my screen and wipe me of my wrongdoings. Thank God I didn't booty call her. Anytime I pull up my ex's contact on my phone, I always catch myself and say maybe you should fap on this first. Then I no longer have the desire to text my ex. Edit. After reading the advice of my fellow Redditors, I just changed all my ex's contact names to fap first. I really should not have had sex with this person. I had about a 30-minute breakdown in the bathroom where I was sure I just gave myself AIDS or something after unprotected sex with a stripper. I kept thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? Why would you do that? Then I came out of the bathroom and she was there laying on the bed, posed for me, ready for more, and I thought, well, if she had something to give I've already got it. And I went back for more. By some crazy miracle I didn't get anything. Man, I'm dumb. Bro, that's not how passing STDs work. You certainly do not pass on an STD 100% of the time you have unprotected sex. If she had AIDS, the chance to contract it is like less than 1%, so yeah, don't use that logic next time. Wow, I just spent 2 hours masturbating. You gotta pump those numbers up, those are rookie numbers. Seriously. When I'm not in a hurry, I'm usually setting aside 3 to 5 hours on average. Usually involving someone else to join in. I have very open friends and 2 submissives under my control. Between being heard as you moan and tremble and the reactions they invoke, to being on cam and putting on a show, to mutual fun, to role-playing, to public risky play and kinks. It's so much more fun when you have time to enjoy yourself and others. That my wife was letting me have a threesome with her BFF because they wanted to have sex and I was being bribed. That's how that goes for a lot of women. My ex used the same hustle. Remember, always ask, what's in it for her? Your happiness? It was a little less Machiavellian than that. We'd been doing some soft swinging hot tub makeouts with like-minded couples, a couple swaps, but turns out she was exploring her attraction to women, which she'd lost after a bad boyfriend, and then me, the good boy husband. Turns out it worked. We were separated a year later, divorced a year after, and they were married the year after that. Worked out okay though. Those married ladies we played with kept inviting me over for hot tubbing and visits to the guest room in the basement. Really helped with the post-divorce, you know? I remember one time a while ago, my physics teacher gave me a take-home test to do. I'm not great at physics, and I tend to procrastinate, so it was like 3 a.m., and I was passing the time with a nice nut. Afterwards I totally remembered the right way to solve the question and finished the test. So now I can say that blasting rope literally let me pass physics with a B. Related story, my partner works in a high-stress job, just under sea level. I can't remember the specifics of the particular problem she was stumped on, something to do with AI and data algorithms. I dunno, I'm a pleb compared to her in that regard, but she was getting more and more frustrated to the point of anger. I cooked up a nice feed for us, suggested a couch cuddle and brainless popcorn movie to defuse her mood. Worked a treat, though I knew she was still working away at it behind her eyes. We head to bed, bit of a cuddle, bit of a pash, bit of how's your father. I hit the vinegar stroke just after she did, roll over, post-coital cuddle puddle. Denied as she sits bolt upright and rushes out to grab her laptop. The solution popped up moments after she came, and she spent the next 15 mins jotting out the bare bones of the solution before she forgot. Edit, just asked her and the prob was something to do with CRM system integration architecture. No idea what that is though. Why do I keep spending hours masturbating? My teenage time. At one time I was at school. I was in the classroom and there was this mural with some photos. For some reason there was a photo of a hot girl in a bikini. As I was a mega horny shy teenage boy, I saw that and was insta-triggered. I had the biggest urge to fap. Just waited for the class to be over. Hid behind a chair. When everyone went out for the break, I got up, stared at the picture, started the process, and 5 seconds later splashed all over the floor, chairs, wall, everything. After being relieved, I just left. To this day I wonder how people reacted after seeing the scene after. That I was being manipulated through sex. This is why I hate Facebook so much, because their robot CEO keeps singing the more we know about each other, the higher our chances of survival tune. That's true for Reddit, not Facebook. Just look at the amazingly honest comments here. Nobody on Facebook is going to share stuff like this on their feed with some rando they met at a party that might be a future networking opportunity. 3 months after a breakup, my ex was trying to reconcile, and I was seriously considering it. I was seeing a guy, and the sex was great, but I knew he was way more serious than I was. I honestly didn't know what to do. After sex, he curls up next to me and says, "Leave if you still love him. I would rather see you happy than possess you." Ask yourself if you could say the same thing about him. He was right, but I needed that insight to realize my ex was more about possessing me than actually being in love with me. I followed that wise, loving man across the country and never regretted it, not even after we eventually broke up. Wherever he is, I hope he's blissfully happy. Why even bother trying to get a girlfriend when I can just do this? When I was maybe 14. I had the same thoughts when I was younger and had a long dry spell. If I can do this by myself, why do I need a girl? It's been so long, they feel the same. I eventually got a girlfriend, which I was lucky, that was up for sex all the time. Yeah, it's not the same at all, sex with a girl is 100x better lol. I'm pretty thankful though, we got along well, did it all the time, multiple times a day, teenage self was in heaven, and when the relationship came to an end, we separated amicably. There were a couple red flags in there, but overall, that was probably the smoothest relationship I ever had. That I was in a really toxic relationship. I was with the same girl for over 5 years, starting in high school, so I'd never had an intimate relationship with anyone else. I was always very attracted to her, and we'd had some great times early on, but our relationship had long ago turned one-sided. Everything I was getting out of this was what I alone was putting into it. This girl also had, essentially, a non-existent sex drive. Which is fine, of course, that's not some error or problem on her part. Everyone deserves to do what they feel comfortable with, if they ever feel comfortable with it, and don't owe anyone anything more. The problem was how she responded to my sex drive. In 5 years, we'd had sex maybe 15 times, and every single one became her go-to reminder for the next few months of how much she did for me, how selfless she was. I left jokes in her lunches that I packed every day. I bought her flowers and gifts at random, just because I was thinking of her when I was at the store. I asked her once if she could start complimenting me more. Words of affirmation is my greatest love language. She said that felt uncomfortable. She didn't even remember to get me a Christmas present last year. But hey, I let you get laid last month became a regular sentiment. If I mentioned to her that I was feeling aroused or told her how beautiful she was, she shrugged it off and made me feel like I was ceaselessly horny. I'd been scared of this relationship failing for 5 years. I knew there were things I was unhappy with, but it seemed more comfortable to come home to a 6/10 happiness than try to go out and find something higher. But then you nut. And your head clears. And I look down at the woman who refuses any position but missionary, with whom foreplay or nudity is never allowed, and she's frowning. I know the last 2 minutes will be thrown at me for months to come. This relationship just ended. I don't wish her ill for anything about her libido. But I'll be heartbroken for a while knowing how much I shamed myself for being attracted to my girlfriend and wanting to be intimate with her, how much I made myself feel that was wrong, and I was perverted and insatiable.
Like and subscribe for more funny, interesting, and scary r/ask Reddit videos.